This job requires the ability to use social networks such as Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, and YouTube. What experiences do you have with these networks?
All right, well, I have my own personal Facebook as well as I made a Facebook page for my last internship. I keep up with an active Twitter account. Flickr I've used because I have my own flip camera and they use that program. As well as YouTube, I have uploaded videos since I was in high school on YouTube and managed accounts for that as well.
Great. What is your opinion on the usage of these networks? Is it good, bad, both, or why?
I think out of all the networks, I think that Facebook would be the best option just because I think that it's reaching at this moment in time it's reaching the most people. Like you're having a wider span of people. I mean, there are elderly people that are on Facebook, younger people, different generations and different businesses. So I think, and the way that you can make announcements and show pictures and show events, it is appealing to all people instead of just the type of people that just like to read or people that just like to watch videos. So I think that if I were to work with one or pick one that I could work with the most, I would still pick Facebook.
Okay, so you're saying it is effective?
I do think so.
When applying for this job, you must know how to deal with people and care about the things you do. Like you said, you were passionate. What have you done in the past to show you can uphold this criteria for this job listing?
Well, I think a lot right now relates to my last internship where I've already done an internship. So I think that that helps out a lot because I already have the experience that I need. And dealing with people, I've always been a people person and I've always done any event that I can that deals directly with people. So just through other experiences like that and other volunteer work that I just feel like it's just something that's right up my alley and something I'm really comfortable with.
That's great. It really is, Dakota. Can you give me an example of a time you had to set a goal for yourself and tell me how you went about accomplishing that goal?
Yeah, I do a lot of pageants and some of that, helps with my public speaking and some of it helps with my volunteer work.
Definitely.
Some of the goals that I've had were I wanted to start my own branch of a volunteer organization called the Sparrow Club, and I wanted to start in Iowa because they didn't have one, and I had to make a goal to raise so much money for this event. I also had to stay committed to it to make sure that it ran successfully, and I actually was the first person to start my own branch of the Sparrow Club in Iowa.
So you definitely have an inspiring personality to try new things. That's great. If you were to be asked to assist or start a new project like this, what would you do differently, if anything at all?
Well, I was a senior when I started the Sparrow Club. I think the only thing that I would do differently, I suppose, is try and get more people involved in it right away to maybe help me. I think that it was a lot of work to take it on myself, but I think that it could have been even a little bit more effective if I just had one or two more people just to help out and help me find the right business to donate and the right people. Basically what we have to do is we have to find a child who is in need of help to pay for medical bills that they can't afford. So we help them. And I think that it would have been nice to have more people's perspectives on which child, or maybe have other people help me raise money for a bunch of different families instead of just one at first.
That's awesome. Really great that you helped out that child. Tell me when there was a time you took on a project, maybe similar to this, that was overwhelmed by how much you had to do, and what problems did you come across, and how did you fix those problems?
Actually, currently, I would say, I wouldn't necessarily call it a project, but more it's my class that I have. It's Media Mass Communications, and it requires a lot of work. About 9 hours, actually, I figured it out, total outside of classwork. So, and that's per week, and that's really stressful when I work 28 hours a week, plus I have other class for homework. So, what I've been doing is really any moment that I find myself just sitting around, like trying to take my breather, is I don't do that. I either get up in the morning instead of sleeping in, and I do my work, or this is the first semester I've ever actually done homework on a Saturday day. Usually I take my Saturdays off and don't do anything. But this year I've really done that just because I want to stay on top of things and I want to try and stay right on track with all of my work that I have going on.
That's awesome. Yeah, sometimes we need to be on the ball when it comes to communications and relations, fundraising, public and media relations. So, um, how might you react when you have many tasks to complete in a short amount of time?
I don't get stressed out very easily. I always just remind myself. I always seem to like get everything done when it needs to be done. When there is a strict deadline, everything gets met at that deadline, and I guess it's just more of my mental preparation where I just tell myself, Dakota, calm down. Like, it'll be okay. Everything will work out. Do what you can. You're one person, and it helps me stay less stressed, so I'm able to get more stuff done.
That's awesome. Just staying calm and collected is a great thing because in the Red Cross we deal with crisis situations, and it helps to stay calm and collected because you'll have people just really up there and you just need to take them down a level. So staying calm yourself is a great aspect. Can you tell me some of your strengths for the communications internship?
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, I am in pageants, so I have done a lot of public speaking where I've done interviews in front of thousands of people. I have been in an interviewing class where I interview people. I have been in public relations classes, so I've been trained to be a better public speaker and to communicate well with others. Like I also said, I am a people person. I have always been a people person. When I was little, I would say hi to every single person that was in the grocery store. When I was like 2 years old, my mother's antisocial and hates talking to people, so it always freaked her out. But I was just always like, hey, hi, how are you doing?
Oh.
So I've always really found a way to connect to people no matter who they are, and I think that's one thing that even my roommates and friends would be able to say about me.
That's awesome. Along with some of your strengths are really connected to communications. Can you tell me some of your weaknesses when it comes to communications?
I feel like sometimes I tend to talk too much, but that's not necessarily, I guess, a weakness. I think that can also be used in a positive way as well to make sometimes people that are uncomfortable feel more comfortable.
That's great. With this, there are over 700 locally supported chapters with the Red Cross. If you were to be given this role as an employee of the Red Cross, as a part of one of the chapters, can you give me an example of how you might uphold the image of the Red Cross?
Well, since I am very passionate about helping others, and I've done a lot of work with being a peer educator and helping out with the triathlons and stuff that they have, I know a little about I know what the Red Cross is about, and I know the image that they care about and that they already have, and I know that I would be able to do that just because I've already worked with them so much in my life.
Okay. Along with that, what have you done in your past to support this, such as oral and communication skills goes?
I think the only one thing that I can really think of that is a strong example of this would be when I was a peer educator. That was something that I had to present in front of a bunch of high schools and middle schools and elementary schools, and it was something that the Red Cross is obviously passionate about.
Yes, definitely. I appreciate your time. That's all the questions I have. Like I said, I appreciate your time to have taken to participate in this interview. Is there anything else you would like to know or like to ask me about this communications internship?
I don't think so. I did a lot of reading on the emails that you've been sending me, so.
Awesome. So you don't have any questions for me. It sounds like you are very involved in the community and with likable communication skill assets. I should have all the information I need now to make my decision. I will let you know by a phone call if you have been offered the position or not in about 2 weeks. Okay. And I appreciate the time again you took for this interview. I look forward to hearing about your progress with getting involved in volunteering. Thank you very much again for your time, Dakota.
Thank you.